Hi, I'm Crystal. Today we're going to be doing some paint swiping. So I saw this stencil that Sizzix just brought out, and it's attractive. It looks like some really cute paint swipes, but I don't have their stencil platform. I don't normally work in a square format, and I don't need a $25 layering stencil. So I'm going to try to get the feel of this just using actual paint swiping. So I did cut 8 panels because I need a lot of chances, and I got out my inexpensive Apple Barrel and Folk Art acrylic paints. These are the least expensive brands, and I cut 8 panels of mixed media cardstock, and I got out this promotional piece of card that I got in the mail. I think it's a DoorDash coupon, and I'm just putting some paint onto the card and swiping it around. Basically, that's literally all there is to it. This was a really quick process, and I have to say that my takeaway after making 8 panels and deciding to turn 4 of them into cards was that I really liked the cards that had a lot of paint on them. So some of the cards that I'm doing here have got some white space, and in the end I didn't really care for the panels that had a lot of white space. I liked the panels that had all the paint. Now this orange color is Jack-o'-lantern, and it is a lot. That is very orange. But I like the pink, orange, and yellow combination. That was part of what I really admired about the Sizzix sample. And so I wanted to recreate that. But I do think that one error they made on the stencil sample was that they used yellow for one of the bottom layers. And I feel like yellow should always be the top layer. Yellow tends to get overwhelmed very easily, so if you're going to use yellow, I think it should be last, and you should use a lot of it, because it just gets eaten up by any other color. I did like the way that this very thin, inexpensive acrylic paint layered. I don't know that this technique would work quite the same if you use a really heavily pigmented artist quality paint, or if you were using, say, the Tim Holtz acrylic paints. They may be a little too heavily pigmented to see through like this. I did throw in a little bit of metallic gold because I like a little sparkle. Why not? Just having fun here and smearing paint all over the place. I am working on a silicone baking mat from the kitchen section. It's very nice because any spilled acrylic paint will just come right off that silicone baking mat very, very easily. So I think you'll like my stamping tools next, which are equally inexpensive and readily available. So mixing the gold with the white paint, I also did not care for, don't recommend, but you know, use whatever colors appeal to you in whatever fashion you desire, obviously. So this is what the dry panels look like. Overall, this took 20 minutes. It was very quick. So now I'm putting a little bit of acrylic paint onto a foam plate. You can see from the green stain on the plate that I just rinsed these and used them over and over and over again. And I did add a little bit of brown paint just to make sure that this next step showed up when I got done, mixing with a disposable chopstick. I don't know why I continued to hold the chopstick for so long, completely unnecessary. And my stamp is a red Solo cup that I plucked out of the trash. Really, a stamp can be anything, any smooth surface that will not absorb your fluid medium. And this cup gave a nice circle, which was something in the original inspiration, so I thought this worked out pretty nicely. So I'm just not taking too much care to get the paint on the cup evenly, and I'm doing several stampings, getting some pretty loose circles onto my paint swiped panels. So this process was also pretty quick. I was putting the paint on a little heavier, so it did take just a minute to dry. Whereas the paint swiping with acrylic paint, the paint is so thin it dries almost instantly. So I just went through and stamped my circles on all these painted panels until I was satisfied that I had enough circles, enough nice loose circles, and that I had used up the paint that I'd put on my plate. Very quick process, very easy. If you don't happen to have a red Solo cup, look around for something you do have, and have fun with it. So these are the finished cards. Thanks for joining me today.